Hello and welcome to another video. In today's video we're gonna wire up the guitar and do the electronics. Funny thing that I just want to share, I put the logo video in between this video and the other video because I felt like the special switch that I want for this is not showing up and I need to do something. And like minutes after I was finished filming that video, and I was okay, maybe not minutes, but I was starting to editing what I had filmed. Guess who knocks on the door? But the mailman, and he has a package for me, and yeah. Anyway, I thought that was funny. I got the switches. You know, I was just a little bit... Anyway, I have two switches, and before I begin with the wiring, I just want to explain the thing. So, if I've made a video a while back, maybe you saw it. If you did, you know everything about this switch, but it's basically you have two ways you can flick it like this, and when it's flicked like that in this position, those two legs are connected, and when you flick it that way, those two legs are connected. So basically you have something connected here, and these are two switches basically in one switch. So when I flick this, both of those are flicked over to this side, but they're not connected to each other. Well, I have another switch. Sorry if that's just a very overglanced thing, but you can for example have a signal go here, go through up here, go through something, come back here, go there, and come back out there, and then you flick it, and then it goes through here through something, for example. You know, sort of like one of these true bypass switches, but as you can see, it's 2 rows instead of 3. These exist in 3, 2, and you know, it's all good. These switches here are a little bit different. Now, a while back, you're gonna see that I made a video showing you how to mod these switches, because these switches, they're basically the same thing, but they have a position in the middle where these legs in the middle aren't connected to anything. So here, those two are connected, and here, those two are connected, and in the middle, nothing is connected. These switches are called on, off, on, and I have 2 of them, and we're gonna put them in to the guitar. So I also have these little tips, and the reason why is because and we will have a problem later on, but I kind of want everything to be gold. No, not gold. I kind of want everything to be black. Now we have a little bit of details here that are silver, so it's a little bit annoying to me, but yeah, that's just the way it's gonna have to be, because I don't have any black screws. So we're gonna put these on the guitar. Yeah, and I'll put an extra washer on just to get them to be approximately at a right height. But these are just washers covered in a protective thing, like a plastic outer thing, so that it looks a little bit nicer. So now that I've tightened them down like that, you see that they look pretty neat in there, but on the front it's these 2 cool little buttons that I can flick like so. So now we can start wiring this up, and we're gonna have a couple of issues that we're not gonna have a couple of issues, but I want this switch here, that is the furthest away, to be the neck pickup, which is this one, and I want this one to be the other pickup. And I can now tell that this reflective material that I've put on, maybe that will help you. I'm gonna try. Oh no, now it's blinding me instead. I'm gonna try to do this, but first we have an issue that we have to do, and that is we have to cut this wire down to size. So I'm gonna pull this up here, and I'm gonna pull it back behind this switch so we get a little bit of extra, and I'm gonna cut it there, something like that, and then I'm gonna strip this back like this. Now what I'm about to do is I'm gonna make it a switch that lets me turn the pickup on and off, so an individual on-off switch for every pickup, basically, instead of having one pickup together. I mean one switch together, like we used to have on our regular like Strats or something like that, you know, because you're basically turning the pickup on or off when you're flicking through the positions, you know. But here we have one for each, and we're also we're gonna have, because we have 3 positions, we're gonna solder both the ground and the lead to this switch, and by doing that we'll be able to switch between which is the ground and which is the lead, basically changing the polarity of the pickup. So I'm gonna, and it doesn't matter which one you do to which side as long as you're consistent, but I'm putting the lead on this upper first leg here, and I'm pushing the ground to this inner here, like so. And now we have another issue that we have to take care of real quick before we continue. We can push this to the side like so, and that is, we have to take this wire right here that we just cut off, and we have to add that on to that, because as you can see this lead is too short. And the reason why is, when I made this pickup, I was originally going to have this pickup just go to a switch that would be basically there, because I was going to make a super Strat, but I was going to make like my version of a super Strat, because the truth is I really don't like the word super Strat, because it's used for guitars that have nothing to do with Strats, just a regular, you know, body shape that is somewhat similar, but it has nothing to do with what makes a Strat. So it's like, it's kind of an insult to Strats to call something that is basically taking everything that is a Strat and removing it from it and then making it super. You know? I don't know if that makes any sense to any of you, and it's alright if it doesn't, because it's just like a little extra rant thing that you're getting while I'm trying to solder these together. I'm just doing this as a sloppy little extra thing right here. So, I mean, if you have pickups in your guitar and they have long wires, you don't have to go this extra step to mess about, you know, because I wouldn't do this unless I had to, basically, because I don't want to take that whole mess apart. This is going to work. It's just not going to look very pretty on the inside, which is something that I think is important, but I don't think it's that important that I'm gonna allow it to ruin my fun. So let's get some tape. Editing Alex here from the future to tell you that I made a mistake. Okay, I don't know how this happened. I'm gonna blame the fact that it's like 496 million degrees and my brain is frying. But I wired up the switches a little bit weird. You can still follow along, but just do this thing a little bit different, okay? So this is the switch. And the way I wired it up was I wired ground like that, and the pickup ground like that, and then, you know, I added a wire to the pot, and then I took my lead signal in and across, you know. Wait, no, forget that. I'm making a mistake again because the other 2 wires in the middle to the pot, like so. You see that? Don't do that. It's wrong. Do this instead. Can't find the eraser. So here's the thing again. Like I just showed you, but instead pickup wires, the ground of the pickup there and the ground from the lead from the pickup there, then crisscross those 2 like that, and on those you add to the controls. I hope you understand what I mean. This maybe looks weird, but just, you can follow along like I did, but just make sure instead of adding the pickup to these two lugs, add them to the middle lugs. And the reason why is because it will work, but I got this weird thing where one pickup was turning off the other pickup. I didn't notice it until after, when I was looking at it, like, hey, you're moving your hands about a little bit. You'll see me do it because it's in the video, later in the video. But I just wanted to share that with you so that you know to do that. You can still follow along, just do that little swap and put the pickup into the middle legs. And the reason why is because you want to change which one direction the pickup's wires go, so it gets crisscrossed. So either the ground from the, when the switch is in the middle, the pickup is not connected to anything, but when the pickup is turned down, they're either being connected down to the same as they already are. Ground being connected to ground, lead being connected to lead. Or they're being crisscrossed up and switched around, down, back. And that makes the lead go to ground and ground go to lead into the opposite. I hope you understand what I mean. It's a matter of the technicality of the switch. If we look at it in more detail, if we have the switch cut through in the middle, you'll have a lever like this that goes into the middle, and you have the legs here, and that, if it's pushed that way, this lever will go down like that. And if it's pushed that way, it will be pushed down that way. And so by wiring it the other way with the two legs in the middle, you get the right phase effect. And I hope I cleared things up. If I didn't, either it will be a part of the Q&A, or you'll have to talk to me in the comments below. Whew. Already drenched again. No, but just think about that. The switch, if we look at it, it has 6 legs. I don't even know if you can see those legs. And I wired it up to these two. Wire the pickup up to the two in the middle instead. And that's the only thing I did wrong. Yes, sorry, this took longer to explain. I was hoping it would be a 30 seconds little thing. Let's go back into the video and hopefully it's all sorted. Bye. Now technically, you can do this to only one. You don't need to do it to both. But the little black protective thing that I got doesn't work. It doesn't fit the other switch, the one I showed you earlier. It only fits these switches because they're different sized washers. So I had to decide whether or not I wanted to keep the aesthetic of the guitar, or if I wanted to keep the electronics make sense. And I decided the aesthetic was better, because technically the only reason this will matter, and I know someone is going to argue in the comments and say that I'm wrong about this, but it's just my opinion. The pickups, the ground and the lead wires are just the same wire being continued. Can you see that? How it's crisscross now? I hope you can see. If it doesn't make any sense, maybe someone will talk to me in the comments below. Anyway, it only matters when you play both pickups together. Someone is probably going to tell me that that's not completely true, and that no, there is actually a difference, but the pickups are actually just one wire that continues throughout the entire guitar. It's not actually like two different wires. It's just the beginning of the coil and the end of the coil. It's not different. It's just one wire, you know? And so changing the ground to the lead, in my opinion, or the way I look at it, only matters when you play both pickups together, and it only matters when you do it. It will only matter when you do it to one pickup. So, but here we will at least have the option, if we want to decide which pickup we're changing around. You know? So it doesn't have to be always the neck pickup, but yeah, it can be either way. And I will obviously, sorry, I need to change the angle because I can't see what I'm doing. I will obviously, once the guitar is done, I'm going to demo it, and so we might see. Maybe I'm wrong. And if I am, you guys will know about it when I go to play the guitar. We are getting close to being done with the guitar. A couple of more videos and things like that. So I'm just gonna move this over here and attached it like so, and a little bit of solder on my tip. I'm just gonna do the same here, and I'm sorry if my hands are in the way, but hopefully you don't need me to do the actual wiring in front of you. You can sort of see what I'm doing. I hope you can. The reflective material is really bad, and that's something that I probably should have thought about before I started filming. But it's just a crisscross. So basically, do I have a pen or something that I can poke with? The lead is up here, and if we flick it, we can move it across there, or there. So that's gonna make sense soon, I promise you. Just gonna try to find a way to put this down so that, can I put the scissor there maybe? No, I can't because I need to use it. The tape maybe can hold it. See, these are the struggles of filming. You usually don't get to see it because I try to edit it away. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to strip back this. We need to strip back a little bit of this wire, and like so, and we need to pre-tin it. Like so. Just a little bit. And then we need to put it in here, like so, and give ourselves a little bit extra and cut it off. And then strip that end back. Like so, twist it and pre-tin it. I know I'm pre-tinning out of frame, but you're just gonna... You already know how to pre-tin. And if you don't, I hope you've asked questions about it in the Q&A section that will come up. And we attach it to the same leg on the opposite. And this is where it could get a little bit tricky. You could get a little bit confused. But you have to skip a leg over. So that leg and that leg. You know? So not that leg and that leg closest, but the one in the middle, second row. And we have to do the same thing again, but with a black wire. Whew. I clean it off, and then just push it in, hold it up to where it's gonna get soldered, and then we'll cut it just a tiny bit too long because we want our wires to have a little bit of a wiggle room so they are not super taut, because if something moves, you know, the switch or something, we don't want the wire to break. That's like, actually when it comes to like repair work, that's one of the most common thing I see. You know, someone's like, oh, why is it not working? How could this jack fall off? And it's like, yeah, you know, you've been playing the guitar and it's been vibrating and the jack has been moving around, and now you have it loose, and someone has to tighten it and replace the ground wire or something, because it was put in the guitar just long enough, or whatever you call it, to fit when the jack was in the right position for it. Okay, so there we have it. Now we need 2 more wires, and I'm gonna... Are these wires long enough? I don't think they are. They seem to not be. Give me a sec to just take one out. This is not gonna be long enough. No, I need to find some longer wires, so give me a sec, I'll be right back. Alright, I found this 2-in-1 wires, and I'm gonna use the one with the black strip as the ground, or at least that's what my plan is. I'm gonna see if I can film this, because it's getting a little bit fiddly. Yeah, okay, so we have the 2 middle connections there that you can't really see, but I can't really move anything about, so you're just gonna have to trust me that they are there. No, we're gonna attach them there. So first off, with a little bit of solder, I'm gonna attach the ground over here. Come on, melt into place. Something like that. And I'm gonna pull this other one over here. I'm gonna try to melt that into place as well, without touching everything too much, because I think that worked. Just gonna give them a little bit of a tug, let them cool a little bit. Okay, so basically the 2 connections in the middle. I'll take this other switch. Actually, this could be a thing. Okay, so this is this. Let's pretend that this is that switch, and I'll just show you, because I'm always worried that I'm not explaining. So we have our lead connection here and our ground connection here. We have a lead wire from here to there and a ground wire from here to there. Then we have 2 wires here. One ground wire here that will go to the ground, and one lead here that will go to the out. I'm going to show you that in a second. If you're confused about this, we also have jumper cables so that both the switches are connected. But that's just jumper wires. Right, okay. So I'm gonna pull these wires over here. I'm gonna try to nestle them in between these 2 pickups, like so that everything is a little bit more tangled, like so, just because that helps with noise. Let's take these 2 wires here. Everything is out of frame. I have to zoom out a bit, I think. Here we have 2 wires. Let's strip them back a little bit. Not cut them off, damn it. I hope I might have not made them long enough. I feel like they're a bit shorter. Oh, it's because I tangled them. See, this is why you need to think about what you're doing before you do it, so you don't put yourself into a situation where you don't know what you're doing. So, a little bit of flux and a little bit of luck and love. And if you wonder why I say that, I don't know. This ground wire we can remove. I've already pre-wired this a little bit because it's standard wiring, and I've already shown you that a lot of times. Come on. I don't even know if you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm just making one mistake after another. This is why you need to make things longer than you think, because then you realize that you thought about things the wrong way. But there we go. That is somewhat taut. I don't really like it, but it's gonna have to do because I'm not going back. I don't know, that looks a little bit too messy for me. I don't know, can I put some flux on it and maybe clean it up a little bit? I should probably redo that entire thing, but I really don't wanna. It's too warm to care, is the problem. It's one of those days, you know, and it's just... I should probably shorten at least one of these. These are too short, but those are too long. And God damn it. There's one. And there's two. Twisting the wires is actually a good idea. And something that I feel like you should be doing. And for some reason, I don't really have my brain with me. So this is the way it's gonna have to be. Whew. Okay. We have to add a couple of more wires. Right? Yes. We're gonna shield the cavity. So we need to put on a ground wire for that. Let's... Ugh, can I get it in here? Am I just stupid and wasting my time when I should really be cleaning this up? Yeah, I'm gonna put it here instead. Doesn't matter. As long as ground wires are grounding. Yeah, that's not gonna be good. But it's gonna have to do for now. Because I am getting to the point where I feel like maybe I should just throw this guitar into the wall and be done with it. I don't think we need that much. Okay. Sorry to anyone who is not feeling this build, but I'm not feeling it either. Right now, I'm getting annoyed. Where do I have those things that I'm looking for? Tell me. There they are. Why didn't you tell me? Okay, let's see if I can... Sorry. I hope I'm not too salty in this video. I feel like I'm... It's just that I'm dying in the heat. It's not supposed to be this warm in September. It's supposed to be a nice, cool autumn day, but instead we have over 30 degrees. And it's just... I'll be back in 5 seconds. Okay, so I got this little claw thing here that I'm gonna pretend. Yes, that's what you do first. I was about to do things in the wrong order, but I stopped myself. There we go. I have this little claw that I'm holding in place. It's a little bit fiddly, especially to film it, but you just take you just clamp down on it, basically. And it has the little teeth that will sink in. And you're just supposed to like pin it in place, but be careful so you don't pin it in a stupid way. That didn't make any sense or helped you. But anyway, something like that. It's a little pin. And then, just to be extra careful, I will also just put down a little bit of flux. Just a tiny bit like this. And then a little bit of solder. Come on, solder. Ooh, I feel like I've chosen the worst day in the world to do this. But I feel like it shouldn't be this warm today. Something like that. Yeah, it's probably good. And then we can just screw this into the body later. But we'll take a look at that when we get to it. We don't have to take a look at that now because it wouldn't make any sense. Yes. Ooh, and then we need some wire for the jack. I think this is going to be enough. Oh, actually we need to strip the wires back. And I know, and I think you know that I know, that I probably should clean this up. Because it's going to interfere with the ground and probably create some noise. And maybe I should take out my multimeter and check it. So let's do that. Because, yeah, I don't need to make mistakes just because I can. Okay, let's add the lead here. Ugh, I'm burning things. Like that. No, apparently not. Like that, but maybe like this. Are you getting stuck? What? Why aren't you getting stuck? Come on. Come on. Is it seriously that warm that I can't even solder? And then the ground here. You don't want a ground. You don't want a ground, baby. Stupid. Okay. Good. And then it should also be up there. But it shouldn't be down here. Good. Everything works. Right. I think, at least, everything works. Does... Yeah. Right, alright. Right, alright. Let's move. Okay. So here we have the two leads that are going to go to the jack. Right? The lead and the ground. So, actually, let's not do that. Let's solve that later when we actually get to it. Next thing we need is we need a ground to the claw. Oh, not the claw. What am I saying? The bridge. I mean, it could be to the claw, but we don't have a claw on this guitar because we're not doing a trem. Hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about, or at least somewhat understand. I don't think we need to have that overly long wire, but it's better to do it too long and then save the pieces that we cut off. So here we have a piece of wire. Oh, God damn it, I cut the wrong end. It is so incredibly warm. Whew. I am really struggling to stay focused. Okay, I know that this one doesn't have a black strip, but I just cut the wrong wire and I don't feel like recutting. So we're just going to go with it. And you guys, we're just going to have it as a secret amongst ourselves. You know, I'm just going to add it here. I don't want to add it to the rest of it. Something like that. Just a bit of solder. Because I feel like it works. Look, it melts together perfectly well now. Okay, I thought it would, but it doesn't. Damn it. I just realized I filmed all of that out of frame. Why am I having this issue? This is so weird. The tip is clean. I have flux. I don't have a brain because it's too warm for that. I think that's going to be good enough for now. Let's pre-tin this one wire as well. I know I just... Wait, this is the bridge. We need to have a little bit more of it. Actually, let's spread it out like that. Okay, this is a thing that you can do for your ground wire. And technically you should do it after, when you have it in the body, and not before, but I'll do it before now because this is the wiring and I want to show you how to do stuff, you know? So it's technically maybe not the right way to do it, but you fray it out like that, put a little bit of flux so that things melt a little bit easier, and then you blob solder and you melt it and you sort of coat them in it so that it covers out and it sort of becomes like a little hand or whatever you want to call it. You try to cover them and get a blob like that is thick and going out over them. Something like that. It's I'm probably gonna have to redo this because you're supposed to pull it through the hole first, because this is going to be a bit difficult. But then you press down your bridge, you know. If you have a black bridge, sand away some area on the back so you can get a good connection, and then you just, you know, when you go to screw this down, you make sure that it lies flat and the wire is getting pressed up against there and flatten out, and you get a widespread nice connection. I think this is the wiring, right? I haven't forgotten something. I probably have, because I'm overheated. Yeah, I have done videos already on the sort of basics of like how to wire this, so I feel like it's okay that I'm a little bit sloppy. But basically you have this control here, and you can either go to ground or go to the middle here. You have the pickups coming in. You know? Well, I didn't do that in frame. Anyway, let's move on to the next step. Alright, so I hope the electronics are not too bad. I think they're good. I think they're good. Yes. Anyway, here we have the body. The body. And we're gonna move on to the next step, which is something that some of you might think that this should be their own video or something, but I'm putting it in together with this because I feel like they go together. And that is, we're gonna shield the cavity. Now, there's a lot of ways you could do this, and I don't really want to get into it, because I know someone is going to say that you could just paint it. But first of all, it's not that hard to shield it with tape. Obviously, the more problematic of a shape you have, the more problematic of a thing to do you have. But we don't have to be weird about it, right? We can sort of just be cool. I don't know what that meant or what I even said, but my point is, someone is going to say that I should paint it, and I think that you can go whichever way you want. It doesn't really matter that much, but it's easier to do a good job with the paint. But I think that if you do a good job with the tape, you will get a better result. This is, you know, real stuff. It's gonna be good. So I'm gonna try to take out a piece of tape, get a nice thing going. I don't know, something like, maybe something like this. I don't know, something like that. Yeah. Let's start off by rolling it up. And this is sort of how I do it. I just feel like this is a part of the wiring because we are going to use this as a part of the wiring, you know? So we might as well do a good job and include this in the same video, because otherwise, you know, you would get the wiring in one video and the shielding in another, and yeah, I don't know. Okay, so this is gonna get a little bit fiddly, but we will solve it together. So I'm just gonna unroll this roll, and I hope you appreciate that I'm so nifty with my way of doing things, that you will agree that this is a nifty way to do it. I don't know what I was saying, or what I meant to say, but my point is still, if you feel like this gets too long, you can just cut it off like that, throw it on the floor, leave it for someone else to clean up, you know? Don't do that. That was a silly joke. I am gonna pick it up later. And yeah. Something like that. Then we're gonna just do cuts. Oops. Something like that. Damn, that was lousy of me. It's better not cut too close than to scratch the body. Oh, even if it is still going to be on the inside, we don't have to make troubles for ourselves. We also don't really know exactly the size of the pickguard, so we might not want to create trouble for ourselves. You can also take something like a knife or a razor blade and just cut along, like so. It's good to have a little bit sticking out because we are gonna match it up with the pickguard so that it's, you know, we get a better, you know, touchy things. That sounded bad. Don't do touchy things. I feel like this is not going to be a very serious video when it comes down to it, but you're going to have to forgive me because I am, seriously, I don't really know how warm it is. I think I said something a couple of minutes ago, like 30 degrees or something, and I'm not joking. I am dying. And we can take these pieces, put them to the side, and we can add them on later. So yeah, I'm gonna... Whew. I would also say don't be overly cautious with making it look perfect. This is going to be hidden on the inside, and unless you're going to make it for someone else, then, you know. But even if you are making it for someone else, they have no business going through your guitar that you made for them. Don't they trust you? What kind of friends do you have? Another bad joke. No, but seriously, this is... I assume that there are people who think that, like, oh, if this doesn't look good, it means that it's not done properly. But this is just shielding tape. It doesn't have to be fancy. You know? Like, if you can do a good job, do that. Obviously, I'm not saying not, but the good job is not in making this look pretty. The good job is in making sure that you're not that you don't leave any gaps. You know, like for example, I have a little bit of a gap here, right there. It's just the way the tape sort of folded. But you know, I'll cover it up with another piece, and it might not look exactly the way I would want it to do. I mean, obviously the best thing, or not the best thing, but the prettiest thing would be if I could get all of this to just look like some sort of mirror on the inside, you know. But I'm most likely not going to be able to do that because this is fiddly tape, and we all know that, you know. But I do sometimes get annoyed. I'm going on another rant, but I don't really have anything else to talk to you about while I do this. I sometimes sometimes I see videos of, like, for example, Gibson. Gibson gets a lot of this, and I understand, you know, like a super expensive guitar, you're expecting it to be perfect, but you know, it's never going to be perfect. I'm sorry to say, if you buy handmade guitars because you think they're going to be perfect, and you're going to get sadder more often than not. If you hold the tape up and you press your finger around the edge, you can sort of get an outline like that. I hope you can see it. And you can cut that out. I'm not trying to defend them or anything. I mean, I hope you don't think that. And then we just cut a little bit outside of that. Like that. But you know, like, if the more the guitar is human made, the more human errors you will find. You know? And you'll just have to learn to love those parts of the guitars. that you own, or at least I think you should, because that's how you enjoy guitars, I think. You see how that gap almost disappeared completely now? Because I put that piece in there? I'm gonna have to put a little bit, which is a little bit annoying. Where did I put this? There you are. I've got a little piece there. But you know, like if I ever get rid of this guitar, you know, at some point, which I mean, obviously I am at some point gonna get rid of it because I ain't gonna live forever. But hopefully I'll keep it for a long while. I will have to, you know, like I'll not worry about it. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't worry about it. Something like that. Cut it off. I hope I've remembered when I did the introduction to this whole thing to tell you all that there is going to be a bunch of rant and unedited, unfiltered rambles of a madman, basically. Somehow I managed to cut that just a hair too short. So, I have to add a piece there. Damn it. It's so annoying. I don't know if you can see, you can't see that, but no, it's not important. This is not, you know, it's not necessarily a how-to video. I mean, it is somewhat. It's a half and half, you know, or something. But I mean, I feel like this looks pretty good, you know, so far. I'm gonna change the camera angle a little bit, just because I feel like you deserve it. Where's the? There we have it. Let's split it up a little bit. Take a piece and pass it on. Yeah. Fold it up in there, push it up, push it in, and yeah, like so, and then didn't I? Razor blade. Just cut a little piece, like so, and fold these back and fold these down. It doesn't have to be perfect. This piece is just here to be under other pieces. And then we can do this one. Hold it up. Let it be a little bit over the other one. So we are always covering a little bit. And then we cut it out. Cut it a little bit too big. Like that. Hope you guys can see something. Maybe I should move the lights as well. Give you a little bit more. Is this giving you a little bit more? I hope that's a little bit better. Yeah, what I was rambling on about Gibson. You know, like, I don't know. I just feel like if you get, I feel like I've seen videos of people picking apart Gibson, for example, and I don't mean to defend them. I really don't. But I feel like it's, you know, you got to be fair. Press it into the corner. You know, they pick apart. They talk about it. They're like, "This guitar is amazing. It's beautiful. It's everything I ever wanted in a guitar." You know, they'll say something like that. But there's this one thing that I don't like about it. And excuse me for my horrible accent that I'm doing right there. I don't really know the point of doing it. It's just a joke. But they will say something like, "Oh yeah, it's a perfect guitar. It sounds so beautifully, and I love it in every way. Except, you know, it has this blemish in the finish. That's unacceptable for this expensive guitar." And I'm like, well, okay, you know, like I get it. You know, I get it. I also would be disappointed. And you know, But at the same time, it's like, didn't you just say you love the guitar? I mean, either you love the guitar or you don't love the guitar. There's no, you know, this is just, it's the same thing like with a beautiful woman or something, you know, like, either you love her for all she is, or you don't, you know, and you accept humans, even if they have some stupid flaws that you think that they maybe shouldn't have. Does that make any sense to you? Nah, it doesn't. Okay. It's just me. But then again, I was always the romantic kind. That's another joke. Damn it. Can I be serious? No. That's the answer. I hope you see that this is not that difficult. Like I'm just, like, here I get a little bit. I can just cut it in like that, and you know, we're just gonna smush it in there. And yeah, we're soon gonna get to a part where we're gonna have to talk about this tape, because there is a part. Damn it. There's something about this tape that you need to know when you buy your electrical shielding tape. First of all, don't buy it at like a. Don't buy it at the farmer's market. No, don't buy it at like a guitar luthier thing, because there's no point in wasting your money. It's going to cost you twice as much. Just go to your local hardware store and just get it there. You know, it's the same thing, as long as you make sure that it's for electronics. And you know, like, it's, you will pay 1/3 or something, the money or something, whatever you use to pay things with, you know. Doesn't have to be money, it could be favors of a unspoken nature. Wait, let's see, how far up do I want to go? I'll cut it there, just give myself a little bit extra. That was not just a joke, but a tasteless joke. I feel like it turned into a tasteless joke. It wasn't supposed to be one. I'm gonna cut this a little bit oversized. I don't know if you can see the outline that I did, so it's a little bit hard. Can you see it? Oh, maybe a little bit there. And I'm just gonna split it a little bit like this. But you can see, I mean, obviously, I have a big pool cavity right here, and it's not that difficult to get one of these to be. Come on, tape, please. This is why you need to have long nails, like the beautiful lady. No, but I could use having a little bit more nails. What am I trying to say? Something about this tape, I think. Oh yeah, right. When you buy the tape, there's some tape is, you know, lesser than other tape. Obviously, this is one of those things also. You will get better at this. Like, the first time I did this whole filling a cavity with tape, first of all, it wasn't this giant, you know, cavity. It was like a Strat or something, which is, you know, fiddly with all the little things, but also you'll get better at it. So if you think that this is hard, you just need to do it a couple of times and you will think it's not that hard. You know? So there we have it. Right? Right. Good, 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 good. Let's take the bridge. We're not gonna mount it because we're done with this video, but we can mark out the hole. So let's put it somewhere around there. Right, that's covered up. Yeah, there, and there, and that we will drill into the body. just get that out of the way. Okay, I was trying to say something about the tape. Okay, this is the thing. If I take my multimeter, I'm going to check for continuity between the pieces. So for example, I know for a fact that the tape I just put down right here and this tape right here, they are going to be connected. Now, wait, what? Oh, that one is not. Maybe I need to press it down a little bit. My point was, which I apparently have failed at. Give me a sec to figure this out. Oh, there is tape that has adhesive that is still gonna let you get a connection between pieces. And if you use that, which you need to know that's what you're using, which I thought was what I was using, then you don't need to solder in between pieces. It could just be that I need to press these down a little bit, so I'm just gonna quickly do that. Something like that. Just give me this should be that sort of tape. Okay, so this, oh, it is. Okay. Yeah. Actually, I think this might be a little bit broken. I should switch them out for prongs. Give me a sec. Basically, you need to make sure you buy the right tape, is what I'm trying to say. And when you do, and then make sure, because otherwise you'll have to solder in between. Where are my prongs? Are you my prongs? Are you my prongs? There you are. Where's the other one? There you are. These are the ones, the tip, like this. That's the ones you're supposed to use for what we're about to do. Let's redo everything. No, let's not redo everything. I have a sneaking suspicion that these that I'm holding here have a little bit of a gap in them. So I need to take a closer look at them at some point, but it's not going to be today because I don't want to. Let's plug this one in there, and let's plug this one in there, and let's not put those there because we're gonna lose them. So come back here. It is pretty nifty to keep these that you get with your prongs so that you can put them in here and keep dust out of your connections to your multimeter. That's the pro tip of the day. Hope you paid attention. Okay, prongs. Can you hear that? When we have continuity, we get a sound from our multimeter. That means that electricity flows. So for example, we could take this razor blade, we can hold them up and see if we get a sound, and then current can flow through, you know? And we use that to, for example, check the grounds. I did that earlier in the video, just a little bit. So now we can just go through here and just feel. What? Why? Now I get it. Is it not connected? Yeah. Okay. I have to press down the tape a little bit more. I need something good to do that with. Basically, the issue I'm having right now is I need to press the tape down a little bit more extra because I feel like that's the issue. When you get tape, you need to make sure that you're getting a solid connection. One way is to solder the pieces together, another is to not solder them together. What am I talking about? I don't know. Let's get a drill bit. Is this drill bit going to be long enough? It is. Ooh, got a little burn mark there. I hope that won't be seen. Ooh, it's exactly on the edge. It's crazy. That was a dangerous call, Mr. Watson, or whatever your name is. Are any of my jokes landing? I don't think so. I think I'm being annoying. I need to stop. There we have a hole as well. I'm gonna try to calm down because I feel like I'm overheated and I'm being strange. Right. So, here we have the pickguard, and it's going on the guitar. Ugh, everything's dusty. Huh, there's a tiny little washer. And we need a tiny little screw. You know? Screw you. Screw you. Screw the universe. Sorry, I need to calm down. I need to calm down and realize that this is me breathing. I'm doing movie references, so let me know in the comments below if you understand them. Here's a tiny little screw that I don't think we'll ever need. So, but it's actually too small, it doesn't fit in this. Whew. I'm not normally like this. I'm just being a little bit extra silly because I am actually dying. It's so warm. I know I've already said that. I know I probably should stop complaining, and that there are probably other people in the world right now that are even warmer than me, and they think that I'm being silly for complaining so much. 30 degrees, that's nothing. You should come here where I live. It is 90 degrees. The sky is boiling. Where do you live? Oh, you see, I live in hell. No, really, where do you live? I live in hell, I told you. Please respect my authority. This one is bad. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Okay, so the reason why I like these things is because it lets me ground things. I'm gonna ground it there. I'm gonna take my awl and I'm gonna poke pretty odently. Pretty forceful. You know, a little bit more than I usually do. And then I'm gonna add this screw in there. You know, just go in there. Can you see that screw? Can I get closer? There's a little screw in there. It's not very important. Just gonna get it into it, and then I'm gonna back it off a little bit. Something like that, and press this one in. You can get these that is not a U shape. I don't have them, and I don't think it matters. So, but I like it because it makes this whole process very easy. Something like that, and now we can do some checking with the multimeter, and just yeah. Good. We have connections all around the Europes. The Europes, what the hell am I saying? Okay, so this is what you showed me. You showed me. I showed you. I need to calm down, and I need to go drink some water. I'm gonna cut that off because I only did that to show you that I'm gonna do it. I just thought it was easier. Push it through here so we get up to the ground wire that we're actually going to go to. I'm going to take this 2 ground wires, push them through this hole here into this cavity and pull it out this way, like so. We're going to try our very best to keep everything lying neatly. Oh, where did these screws come? What? Oh, never mind. And then we're gonna fiddle around a little bit. Press these things into place. Oh. That's annoying. I think I've done a mistake. And that is that I drilled these too close to the edge. I wanted them there, but I need to carve that away a little bit. That's super annoying. I like this. I got it to look neat. I should have thought about that, I think. Yeah, it's not that much, but it's still annoying because it means that all of this that I did is not going to look that good. So I need something like a pen. I need to reshape this. Remove that much. That's annoying. It's real annoying. I'll be right back. I'm gonna do that real quick. Alright, so yeah, I had to route away a little bit here because I obviously didn't think about things when I drilled the holes for these two switches. Everything is covered in dust and everything is looking a little bit stupid, but that's the way it's gonna have to be right now. So I'm gonna have to try to fiddle this in here up against the neck and into its place. Make sure we have all our wires neatly tucked around the little corners. The only wires that we have sticking out are these two. That's good. Ooh, let's get a tiny little drill bit. Let's take this little 2 drill bit and yeah. I have an anchor screw that I need to put in to push the pickguard into the right place. So yeah, let's get a screw and a screwdriver. Didn't I already have it out? Yeah, for that screw. I mean, it doesn't matter. We'll take this one instead. Yeah, so push this into the right place because it doesn't really want to line up without a little bit of force. That's just because everything is in very tight placement. There we go. Drill the hole and get the screw. Push it into place. I know I'm in the way, but I mean, I'm just attaching a screw. You don't necessarily need to make that into a bigger deal than it is. We're just going to attach that screw. That's holding everything in place. Now you can go around and attach all the other ones. It's falling up here a little bit. Why is that? I think there might be a wire. Oh yeah, there's a wire that is being... Is it on that side? What is it? Something like that. Maybe we'll put that one in as well. I'm gonna fetch some black screws. I think I have some, but we'll do that at another point because that's not really what this is about. something like that. That's just, everything is in place and everything's looking somewhat good. Right, yes. Let's start up the soldering iron and let's scrape this a little bit. See, we can get, we don't have to have that much of a wire. Something like that. We can push it back in a little bit. Yeah. Probably could have done that before as well. We didn't need to. This wire here is the most important. Or, I mean, no, that's not true. But it is a good thing to have. So let's smoosh these wires out a little bit, like this. No, and trying to show you how to do something. I can't do it myself. I feel like that's everything I do, is just not doing anything right. Damn, that's a lot of solder. I mean, flux. Not what I want. Whew. Yeah. Can I reach? Yeah, I can. Should I reach? I don't think so. This is also something that I normally wouldn't do, because normally I would put something down so that I don't spill. But right now on this guitar, that is not something that is super important, because we're gonna relic it. So something like that, press it into place. If you want to, you could actually do something that I do sometimes. I don't think I have any, because I think I've been running out, but sometimes I actually take a staple gun and I staple it in. Yeah, there we have it. Let's move over here as well. Where is the jack? Where's Jack? Who's Jack? Where is Jack? Who is Jack? No one knows who Jack is. I suppose I could have done a Jack Sparrow joke. I can't find the jack. I need to take a look around. I don't know where it is. Oh, right, I did find the jack. It was exactly where it was supposed to be, so I don't know why. I don't know. I like to put the jack to the side a little bit like this. I screw it in just to hold it in place, you know, and I pull this wire, give myself a little bit more than maybe I need, because I don't want this taut. You talked about that before. I'll give myself a little bit of slack, but we don't need to have all of this. I mean, come on. We're not penguins. And as soon as I'm done with this, we're done with the video. And I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I want to also thank you for tolerating all the bad jokes in this one. I'm sorry about that, because I feel like I went a little bit heavy on it. Especially since none of them are, they're not jokes, they're just nonsensical rambles. And I know. And hopefully you can forgive me, but I am drowning right now. Of course. Felt it full. Got all dirty from all the sawdust from the routing. Beautiful. Now I need to re-glue it. Okay, let's pre-tin these wires. Again, have something underneath so that if something drips, it doesn't fall on your guitar. I know that I should have something, but I'm so dying right now that I don't want to go get it. And I know I should. But I'm also building a guitar where it doesn't really matter. Okay, this connection here to the middle is the ground, which you already know. But, I mean, it wouldn't be a part of the wiring if I didn't showed it or talked about it or something. Let's get this wire in there as well. If you can get the wires into the holes, you know, like I just got there, that's super good. Makes me super happy. Sometimes it's too fiddly to get in there after you've put all the things on it. But sometimes you're lucky. You know? Fortune smiles upon us. There we see it. So there we have it. Those two are connected and they look a little bit rough, but I think that's good. Ooh, let's zoom out a little bit. There we go. And you're getting your first look at the guitar. It's starting to come together. I think it looks kind of cool. I mean, it's a little bit on the rough side. I might have to change out the hardware for what's it called? Chrome. I don't know. But I think it looks pretty nice. But yeah. Let's unscrew this screw so that we can plug something in and check the electronics real quick, as I know you guys probably think that's a good idea. I mean, you should think that it's a good idea, because it is. Give me a second, I'll need to fetch a cable and an amp, and then I'm going to show you how to do the pickup thing, which is not necessary to do, but well, it's not necessary on this guitar, because on this guitar it doesn't matter, because everything is a little bit rough, you know. But on other guitars, I really think it's important, because if you have new pickups, they're pristine. Anyway, let's jump into that. Alright, so I have a tiny little amp down there. If you've been subscribed for a while, you've seen that thing be built on the channel, but the chances is pretty big that you didn't see that video. But it doesn't matter. It's a good little amp we can try things out on. Now, if you have new nice pickups, you don't want to start banging on them with a screwdriver, because you'll create weird little marks. But you can get yourself a tuning fork and use that. So let's start this up, and let's find some volume. Yeah, the pickups are in the middle, so none of them should be on. There we go. You can hear that? Right. Wait. Yeah. So both up. Both in the middle. Yeah. I think it's working. No. Up. I wonder if maybe my modding of the switches... This one feels a little weird. I'll have to take a look at that at some point. Yeah, see, it works. If any of you want to sample this and make a song out of it, do so, but don't forget to tell me. Yeah, I think that's going to be good enough for now. And everything seems... I mean, the bridge isn't even on, but it seems pretty quiet. Could you even hear the amp? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I could hear the amp. I could hear things seem to work. I think things work. I'm getting a bit tired. Okay, next video, we're going to put everything on. All the hardware on. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. This pickup looks a little bit worse for wear. That's what you get for using old crap. But, yeah. I can consider giving this guitar some new nice pickups, but it will have to wait. Yeah. Okay. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye. See you in the next video. Hopefully.